What's up, guys? Cheap Beast, aka Noah, back today bringing another video. This time we're doing the top 10 sneakers of 2020. It was a pretty crazy year, but after looking through a bunch of sneakers, there were a decent amount that actually came out and were pretty good in my opinion. I probably missed a few just because it's really hard to go back a whole year of sneakers. Looked at other people's list, based mine a little bit off of theirs, and then did some of my own because obviously that's how it works. I made my own opinions on some of the sneakers that I liked. So 10, just really it's 12 because I had two tie because I couldn't pick between them, and I didn't want to move anything out of the list because I thought they fit in where they fit in. But let me know in the comments what you think of the list after the video, and then tell me your guys' top 10 list also. So with that being said, let's get right into number 10. All right, so at number 10, we have something that I kind of just want to put on this list because I think it's really cool. It's one of my favorite sneakers that I probably could pick up and I may pick up. It's the New Balance 997S Shoe Palace Great White. I think it's the teal toe. It released in November 5th of this year, obviously. Retail for $120, and it's currently reselling for about like $200 on StockX. I put this one on here because I think it's just one of the more unique shoes of the year. I think it's really clean too for being like shark themed too. The teal toe is better than the black toe. That's just how I picked it, but I think it's just really cool. I like the 997S. I don't own any still, but when I do, this might actually be one of the ones I pick up. It's just really clean with the teal, the orange, and the black. I think it looks really good, and that's kind of why I put it at number 10. All right, at number 9, we have the Nike Space Hippie 3, the Vast Gray. So the first one that came out, it released on July 3rd. It's for a retail of $180, and it's currently reselling for about $280. They released a few other colorways since, but I think this is the best colorway. Plus, this is the first one. I think it's probably the most unique shoe on this list because it was, I think, basically the only new silhouette, and I think because it's the recycled material and it's got all that like strap and like futuristic look, I think it looks really good. I think probably I put it more on the top 10 more because of how different it was than every other sneaker that I saw this year, and plus I think it looks pretty cool. I tried to get it when it came out, but I didn't. But the Space Hippie 3.0, I hope they make a few more colorways in 2021, but I think that's why it has to at least be on the top 10 list. So at number 8, we probably have one of the more controversial, I think, ones, at least on my list, because I've ranked it pretty low. I almost didn't even put it on the list, but I felt like I kind of had to. But it's the Jordan 1 Dior. It released on July 8th for retail of $2,200, and it currently resells for over $7,000, if not more. But I didn't really know if I wanted to include it because I feel like it's got a lot of hype behind it. I feel like some of the other colorways and stuff are better. It's probably got better materials. I've never seen it in person, so I can't tell exactly. But the materials are obviously really good. And then it's got the Dior name to it. I feel like if it didn't have the Dior name, it wouldn't be nearly as big. I think the colorway is fine, but since it's the Dior, I feel like it has to go in the top 10, but I only put it at 8 because I couldn't really justify it putting it any higher, since I'm not the biggest fan of it. Obviously, I got it. I would probably sell it because I don't need $2,000 shoes, and I'll never wear them, so I'd probably get rid of them. But it had to be on the list just because of all the hype around it this year, but it's only at number 8 for me. At number 7, we have the New Balance 327 Casablanca Orange. This released on April 4th for a retail price of $100. It's currently reselling for about $300. I had to put a 327 on here. I think this is probably the best one. It's probably the most hyped one as far as I know. But I talked about the 327 in a ton of videos this year, I feel like, of underrated sneakers and like sneakers you can get for fairly cheap. This is one of the ones that kind of expensive because it is a collab, I think. But I think it's one of the best ones. It's got green and orange on it. I think it looks pretty cool. The other ones are just pretty basic because I think it's a pretty basic shoe, but it only is retail for $100, so it's not bad. But I think this is the best one, and since I talked about it a ton this year, the 327, I feel like I had to put it on here. And I think New Balance obviously killed it this year. I don't have anything just because I really don't follow it too much, but I'll see it afterwards and be like, dang, I should try to get that. But 327 is probably one of my favorite silhouettes that I don't think was really talked about too much this year. So the Casablanca Orange was definitely the best colorway of it. All right, so at number 6, we have two sneakers. Actually, this is where I couldn't decide. They're both Jordan 4s, but I couldn't decide between which one, and I didn't want to move stuff off the list because I liked the list where I had it. So the first one we have is the Off-White Jordan 4 sale. This was a women's release. This released on July 25th for a retail price of $200. It's currently reselling for about $1,100 plus. This is one of the bigger releases of the year, especially in July. I guess the Dior's also came out in July. But I think the hype has actually grown a lot more on these since it's released, and I can't actually get any because I don't think they made 14.5 women's, but I think it's a good looking sneaker. The sale colorway isn't my favorite, but I think it's really good looking to begin with. There wasn't any other Jordan 4 off-whites that I think were better. I think I didn't put any other off-whites this year now because there was the Jordan 5, but I think the Jordan 4 is better. And then the other one at number 6 is the Jordan 4 Union Guava Ice. There is the other one, the Black Noir. I think they released on the same day. This one was the way more exclusive one. It released on August 29th for a retail price of $250 for a current resale of about $800. I think I like this more than the sale, but I didn't know if I wanted to put the sale on the list or keep it off the list, so I put them both here. I think this was one of the weirdest sneakers of the year because everyone wanted to hate the Union Jordan 4 until they saw that the tongue could be opened up and it changed the sneaker because it wasn't good looking. I think I said in my release video for August that it was a terrible shoe and it wasn't going to go for much, but then the new pictures came out and you could cut up the tongue and make it longer. So it was a lot better. I think that one detail just made it huge. I think Guava Ice is definitely the better colorway, but other than the black, but I don't know if it's better than the sale, and that's kind of why I had them both at 6. At number 5, we have the first dunk of the list. It's Nike SB Dunk Low, Travis Scott. It released on February 29th for $150, and it's currently going for about $1,500, which is insane. I think it's the second most expensive one on this list. It is, other than the Dior's, but Dior's aren't getting passed. This one I think I put on here because the dunks were crazy this year. Definitely the most popular sneaker, other than Jordan 1s, because Jordan 1s are always insanely popular. But these ones definitely sold for the most, especially since there were a ton of collabs on them. But the Travis Scott one's not my favorite dunk of the year. I'm not a super big dunk fan, but I think this is the third best dunk of the year because I'm just gonna say it now. If you guys watched my other top 5 sneakers of 2020 halfway through the year, I think this one was number 5, so it stayed in the same spot. I don't know if anything passed it, but the Travis Scott one, obviously Travis Scott sneakers have been insane for the past 2 years. I think this one's pretty cool. I like the laces on it, the rope laces, and I think the color blocking's pretty good on it too. So that's why it stayed at number 5. And then at number 4, this one I actually have 2 sneakers here too because I like both colorways pretty equally. It's nothing insane, and this is where I feel like people are going to get mad because I put the Dior's below these two. It's the Jordan 1 Royal Toes and the Jordan 1 Court Purples. The Court Purples, geez, are the only ones I actually picked up on this whole list of this year. But the Royal Toes released on May 9th for a retail of $170, and they currently resell for about $300 plus. The Court Purples released on April 11th for $170, and they're currently going for about $400, which I didn't know they went up. But I like both these. The Court Purples were the ones I actually got picked up. I really wanted the Royal Toes at the time, and I didn't get them, and I maybe will pick them up in the future. But I think they're just both the best ones of the year in my opinion because I really like blue, and then obviously I got the Court Purples, so I had to put them on the list, and I think I had them in 3 on my top 5 sneakers of 2020 in July. But I had to put these tie because I couldn't pick the colorway that I like more. Again, I didn't want to move something off the list for a different colorway of a Jordan 1. But I thought about putting the Mochas on here. I feel like there's a lot of hype because they look like the Travis Scotts. But in my opinion, I like the Royal Toe and the Court Purples a lot more. All right, and then getting into the top 3. So at number 3, we have the Adidas 4D SNS Green Tea. This just released on December 4th, so it's super recent. For $250, it's currently reselling for about $400. I feel like I haven't talked about the Ultra 4D enough. I think I only mentioned it like in one video so far, but I really love the silhouette. I haven't been able to pick any up, and there was like the first colorway that I really liked, and then there's been a few more colorways that I think you can just kind of pick up now. But this one, like I said, just released in December, and I think it's probably the best colorway of it the whole year. The first one I debated putting here too, but I think this one just looks really clean. I kind of regret that I didn't go for it after seeing more pictures of it. It's a raffle on SNS, which probably not going to get, but I still wish I would have tried a little bit because I think it's really clean, and I put it at number 3 on my list, so I regret that I didn't get it. But it's not going for a crazy amount, but it's just like a green tea colorway and looks really cool. And the 4D instead of the boost at the bottom, it's like got the same Ultra Boost top, but the sole is made out of the 4D material. So I think it's really cool, and I hope Adidas doesn't like kill these shoes. I think if they did some collabs with them, it'd be really cool. All right, then at number 2, if you guys have watched my videos, you know what number 1 is, and number 2 actually is the same thing from the other video that I did, but it is the Nike SB Dunk Low Strangelove. I don't know if there was an actual like name to it. I couldn't find it exactly, but it released back in February for $100, and it's currently reselling for about $1,100. This is one of my favorite sneakers of the year. Obviously, it's number 2. After seeing it a ton more, I just really like the pink colorway. I don't know if I would ever wear it, just because I don't know how I would wear it, because like I said, I don't own any Dunks, but every time I see this shoe, I really want it, and then I see the resale on it, and I know I can't get it. But it released back in February before like everything crazy happened, and I know the resale on it at the time was only like $400, so it's gone up a ton since then, and I think it's justified because it's my number 2 sneaker of the year. And then at number 1, it's fairly obvious if you watch any of my videos, this sneaker has like turned into a grail of mine, and I don't know if I would ever wear it, but I just really like it for some reason. But it's the Nike SB Dunk Low Ben & Jerry's, the Chunky Dunky. It released in May 23rd for $100, and it's currently reselling for over $1,100. So it's gotten really expensive. I think it's been there since it released. This is the one sneaker I really wanted, and obviously I didn't get. I probably would have kept it because I just like it so much. I don't know if I would ever wear it, but it's one of my favorite sneakers ever, and that's why it has to be number 1. I think it's really unique. The colors really pop on it. Plus, I like Ben & Jerry's, and it's ice cream related, and I like ice cream, so I think that's why I had to put it at number 1, and it's been my number 1 since it's talked about. So nothing's past it. The Strangeloves were kind of close. But everyone, if you guys have watched my channel, have seen that the Chunky Dunkies have been number 1 for a very long time. So that's the top 10, my top 10 sneakers of 2020. Been a crazy year, but I think at least this list is pretty cool. I've only picked up one, which is kind of sad. Hopefully I can pick up a few others next year. And then next year, hopefully the releases are just as good, because even though 2020 was a mess, the sneakers actually were pretty cool. So hopefully more come out next year like this, and there's cool collabs and stuff like that. But let me know your guys' top 10 in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe button. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.